You'd mentioned the 8-seat loss in the November 2012 elections. I'm struck when I talk to a lot of your colleagues and other Republicans that there's really no consensus yet among Republicans about what went wrong as compared to, say, 2008, when there was a very, I think, simple story that Republicans could tell themselves about what had happened. So I was wondering what your view is of what went wrong for the Republican Party in 2012.
I think there are several things, perhaps, or lessons learned that we can talk about. You know, our economic message as a party is one of opportunity, and we are focused really on people and individual freedom, not enriching government power. Somehow, that motivation that we have wasn't received by the electorate in the way that the electorate felt it worked for them. And right now, I mean, obviously, there are a lot of people that are struggling with stagnant wages, with increasing costs of health care, of energy, of tuition. We actually have solutions that deal with that, but they don't come from the easy answer to say, hey, we'll just have government do it for you without thinking about the cost. We also talk a lot about the heroic entrepreneur. You know, the fact that most of us in this country are immigrants at some point in our family's history. Most are here by choice. Some, unfortunately, this country didn't always get it right and were forced to come here against their own will. But we're still working on that, being a land of opportunity. My grandparents came from Eastern Europe at the turn of the last century. Like so many of their generation, were fleeing from the anti-Semitic pogroms of the czars of Russia. But they were able to come here. They were able, without a lot of formal education, without knowing the right people, begin a business and start a family. After they did that, my father was born. A couple years later, my grandfather died, and my grandmother, nearly 30, just about 30 years old, was faced with life's challenge as a widow with 2 kids, with a grocery store that she and her husband had opened, as a single mom who happened to be Jewish in the segregated South. But she went ahead and she made it. And she worked hard. Thrift, faith, and abiding by her commitment to make a better life for her kids. That is what our economic message is about. Unfortunately, we saw in this election that message didn't really resonate with a lot of people who may want to be that entrepreneur or that small business person, but frankly are too busy trying to get through the month, paying the bills, worrying about how they're going to save for college, how they're going to show up for work and go to the PTA meeting if that's the case. So we've got a lot of work to do, I believe, in demonstrating that our solutions do work for working people and struggling families.